Hello everyone and welcome back to the lecture series of learning theory of automata and formal languages. My name is Binayak Parashar. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So, we have been into this particular lecture series and this is like lecture number 6 and this is in unit number 1. So, in the previous videos we have tried to accomplish all the designing process of all the different types of finite automata without output, that is NFA and DFA, DFA or NFA, whatever you say. Okay. Now, we will be looking into one more types of finite automata without output, that is your epsilon NFA. But before that, students, if I ask you if you have logged into the if you have seen to the previous video, you might have gone through the designing process of DFA, you have gone through the designing process of NFA. If you have not gone, I would suggest that please refer the previous videos, otherwise you will not be able to understand what we are going to discuss in this particular video. Okay. So, I have asked the question in the previous video that is every DFA an NFA or is every NFA a DFA? So, this is a very beautiful question and very important question from your exam point of view also, because in the previous lecture we have seen a topic which is known as equivalence of DFA and NFA. Now, if you look into this particular point, if you look into this particular topic, I will ask you one thing, but before that let me cover up this particular slide and let us check it out that what are the topics we are going to cover up over here. We are going to cover up NFA with epsilon transition. This is a very important topic. If you look into from a gate point of view, okay, any competitive point of view, then equivalence of NFAs with and without epsilon transition. Okay, that means some or the other NFA with epsilon we will try to convert into NFA or DFA. Okay, we will check it out with an example. So, this is our agenda of this particular lecture. Okay, now NFA with epsilon transition is the next slide, but before that I was discussing that particular point. Now, if you look into this particular point, that if I have a diagram like this, okay, this is a particular diagram that I am having right now. So, if you have understood all the lectures, then you could have find out that whether it is a DFA or NFA. Okay, I can pause the video and can think of it. Okay, now if you look into this particular diagram, it is not a DFA, it is an NFA. Why? Because we can find out very easily. See, for this input transition A from Q naught, it is having two transitions. So, directly from this point only we can declare that this is an NFA. Clear? Now, if it is an NFA, can I say that every NFA is a DFA? We cannot say it. Why? Because is this a DFA? No, it is not a DFA. It is an NFA, but NFA and DFA both first priority is to accept the language, then the DFA and NFA restriction comes into the second point, correct. But if you look into this particular diagram, we cannot say that every NFA is a DFA, but there are certain points or certain languages where we can say that every DFA is an NFA or every NFA is a DFA. Why? If you look into the previous video, we have discussed one example which is known as multiples of 3. If you look into that diagram, that is both DFA and NFA, correct. So, I cannot say that for every NFA it is a DFA, but if we ask that whether every DFA is an NFA, yes, every DFA is an NFA, because NFA main language, NFA main concept is what? To satisfy the language. After completing a DFA, I can say that the DFA is satisfying the language. Secondly, DFA is satisfying its own restriction. So, some way or the other, if DFA is accepting the language, then NFA has the same motive of accepting the language, then I can say that every DFA is NFA, but every NFA is not a DFA. Got it? So, this is how you can get some small points in this particular subject, like expressive powers of equivalent or equivalence of NFA DFA. So, short small topics you can come across. Okay. So, every basic concepts you should be aware of it. I hope it is clear to everyone, I think. So, let us go with our today's topic that we are focusing on. So, we will be looking into the first slide, it NFA with epsilon transition. It is a very simple topic, I have shown you in the previous video also. If we have a state and I am having one more state and I am having one more state. Suppose I want to check for A and I am using the transition from state B to state C rather going from state A. okay, and I am just taking one more empty transition which is represented by epsilon, and I am taking an empty transition from A to B, okay, simply, and from B to C I am getting A. So, some way or the other from the final accepted string will be A only, because epsilon dot A results A only. I will discuss with you in unit number 2 regarding the regular expression, basic identities we will look into this, where this epsilon acts like a 1. So, we will discuss on that, but overall is empty transition means what? Nothing is there, simply I can take a transition from one state to another state where no input symbols will be there. So, this is the meaning of NFA with epsilon transition. In this type of machines, changing of state is possible without reading the strings, got it. Suppose I want to state from A change my state from A to B, I without reading the particular string, that is possible in the case of NFA, but not in case of DFA. Okay. Next, such transitions are labeled with epsilon transition. So, this is what I have shown it to you, this one, correct. Note, on the other hand, the symbol epsilon does not belong to any alphabet. This is also a very important point you should keep in mind, that epsilon is not an alphabet, it is just a particular string which is null and void, that is it. Okay. So, let us discuss now the formal description of epsilon NFA. Some or the other everything is same which we have learned in DFA also, in NFA also. We will have Q, okay. We will the 5 tuples only, we will be having the 5 tuples only Q, then input alphabets, Q is the set of states, input alphabets, then Q naught is the initial state, F is the final state, and only the difference lies where? The transition function. Okay. Now, the transition function what it will do? It will look into delta, we will look into the Q, it will look into the alphabet along with what? Epsilon transition, and it will go to what? Next state, or you can also say 2 to the power Q, that is your NFA concept. So, that means a new transition will come over here, and if you look into efficient or optimization point of view, it is not that much of important. NFA is most important compared to the epsilon NFA. We will discuss the application part later on where it is being used. So, this is all about the formal description of epsilon NFA. Hope it is clear to everyone that only the difference lies in the transition function. Okay. Next comes an important concept while discussing about epsilon NFA. See, epsilon means empty. So, suppose I am having a huge diagram where a lot of states are there, and that all and on that particular diagram includes epsilon transitions, that means empty transitions. So, that means we need to find out an optimized solution where we will be able to get all the epsilon or all the empty transitions together into the diagram. Means we need to consider all those empty transitions, that is my point of view. Okay. For that, we need to understand a particular topic which is known as epsilon closure. Okay. Without the epsilon closure, you will not be able to solve a particular diagram, or you will not be able to find the equivalent NFA for that particular epsilon NFA. Okay. What is the meaning of epsilon closure? Let us check it out. For a given state, this is a particular definition that I have taken from the book. I will refer you the book also, book name properly after example number lecture number 7. Okay. Till that, I have already mentioned in the previous video, in the first video, that you need to understand till 5 to 6 lectures, then you will be able to come into the track of this particular topic or a particular subject. Okay. So, this particular definition says that for a given state Q means a set of states which can be reached from the state Q, okay, with only epsilon move, including the state Q. Okay. Something it got bounce over from your brain, right. So, do not worry, it is just a definition. We will look into this particular concept with a diagram. See, it says that for a particular state Q, okay, whatever epsilon moves are there or whatever empty transition moves are there, you need to check the another state, say suppose Q dash, okay, how you are going to reach to this particular state, including epsilon moves and including its particular state. Okay. So, let us take a definition and take an example, and then I will show you how the epsilon closure actually works. Now, this is a definition, we will look into an example and it will be much clear to you all. Okay. But before going into that particular solution or solving of that particular concept, let us check it out how to find out what is the diagrammatic way of representing an epsilon NFA. This is a very simple example I have taken. I have tried to take A state, B state and C state, where I have taken 2 empty transitions from A to B and from B to C. So, overall if you look into this particular concept some way or the other, it is somewhat like this only. Okay, both are going in the same direction, and A to B epsilon means I can merge into one state, and B to C I am having what A B. So, I can sorry, this is not C, B, A B one transition. So, that means some way or the other this diagram will be like this. Okay. So, this is just an example to show you how to cast how to diagrammatically represent epsilon NFA. Let us check it out the concept now that which brings up with the epsilon closure step. Okay. Now, these are some of the steps which some way or the other in your examination they might ask you that what are the steps involved in designing of an epsilon NFA to a NFA or to a DFA. Okay. So, the steps include that take epsilon closure for beginning states of the NFA. Okay. So, first of all we need to understand this particular topic epsilon closure, clear. Next comes step number 2, find the states that can be traversed from the present for each input symbol. Okay. So, that means some or the other we need to find out the states that can be traversed from the present for each input symbol. Okay. Some or the other this particular step you will not be able to understand until we reach into an example, then it will be easy for you to understand. So, as of now we will discuss later on. First let us check an example and then we will try to relate to the steps. Okay. Let us take an example, design of an epsilon NFA. The question is given to you. Okay. This diagram is given to you. Okay. It is an epsilon NFA diagram. How did you came to know? With the help of these transitions. Wherever you see only one epsilon transition also, that is also epsilon NFA. Okay. Now, if suppose in a diagram where you are not getting any epsilon, then it is not an epsilon NFA, it is simple NFA or a DFA, it depends on the restrictions. Okay. What is the step? First we need to find out epsilon closure, and this epsilon closure you need to find out for all the states involved in the diagram, for all the states, and finally you need to put the result into this table. Table is as simple like we need to find out the states Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So, this I have mentioned over here. For the input symbols, what are the input symbols? 0 and 1. Okay. So, this is what we have to draw. This is the final NFA table that you will be getting. Okay. So, epsilon closure, how to find out? This is a very important thing. Look into the first state. First state is Q0. Okay. Now, I have to check the state Q0 for both the input symbols 0 as well as 1. How to do it? Check. Epsilon closure, I need to do epsilon closure means I have to check like this, epsilon closure input, then epsilon closure. Input can be 1 and be 2. Here we are having 2 inputs A and B. Okay. This particular please ignore this, because here we are not going to discuss this particular. This is we will be discussing in the later half. Okay. First we are trying to take this diagram first. Okay. Then we will discuss on. See, we need to find out first what is the process epsilon closure input epsilon closure. Okay. So, first of all Q0 how to represent it, how to like diagrammatically show it to you. Okay. Let me show it to you. First I will take Q0. Okay. I will take epsilon closure. Okay. And I will take the epsilon closure. How to take it? See, Q0 on seeing epsilon, where it is going? It is going to Q1, clear? And one more thing you need to keep in mind, that Q0 on seeing epsilon, it will go to itself. So, two things you need to keep in mind. First, you need to check that whether first of all default it will come to itself. Why? Because there is no transition, epsilon means empty transition. So, if I am taking Q0 to itself, it will not hamper your particular concept, clear? So, first it will take Q0 and epsilon closure, second epsilon line will be where? It is going to Q1. Any more epsilon it is coming? Yes, it is coming to Q2 also, correct? So, that means I have to take one more epsilon closure line, that will be going to Q2. Therefore, the first epsilon closure is done, clear? So, any more epsilons are there? No, nothing more epsilons are there. Okay. So, that means I got epsilon closure for Q0 is Q0 to itself, Q1 and Q2. So, 3 transitions I got. Now, I need to check for the inputs. So, first I will check for 0 input. So, Q naught on sync 0, Q 1 on sync 0, Q 2 on sync 0. Now, check Q naught on sync 0. Is there any transition for 0 transition over here? No, there is no transition for 0 from the state Q naught. So, therefore, this will be what? This will be phi, empty, null. Then Q 1 on sync 0, is there any transition? Yes, it is going to Q 3, correct. Q 1 on sync 0, it is going to Q 3. Then next Q 2 on sync 0, is there any transition from Q 2? 0 transition? No, it will be phi. Therefore, this input is done. Now, I can go to the last step, that is again epsilon closure. Phi and phi nothing to do, leave as it is, because these are null. Only I have got one state, that is Q 3, and I need to find out the epsilon closure for Q 3. So, from Q 3, is there any epsilon transition going out? No. So, that means first it will go to itself, and any more states it is coming out? No. That means finally what we got? While we will checking the state for Q naught, we reached finally to Q 3 on seeing the input alphabet 0. So, therefore, here I will write down as Q 3. I hope you have understood this process. So, this is how you need to calculate for all the transitions. Okay. Now, I will do a little bit of erasing part. See here the same it will be here. So, I will just erase the this part. Now, we will check for the next input symbol for the state Q naught only, because Q naught I have checked right now. In the previous time I have checked only for 0, now I will be checking for 1. So, for Q naught on the epsilon closure, it will be giving you the same result. So, I am not writing the same thing again. So, I will take now 0 for all the states. So, Q naught on sync 0, whether any transition for 0 from Q naught? No. So, it will be again phi. So, Q 1 on sync 0, where it is going? It is, sorry, again I have taken a mistake. This should be 1. Okay. This should be 1. Okay. So, it will be 1 1 1. So, Q naught on sync 1 transition is also not there. So, that means it will be phi. Then Q 1 on sync 1, Q 1 on sync 1, no, there is also no transition. So, it will be also phi. Q 2 on sync 1, yes, it is going to Q 3. So, Q 3 is the final answer. Now, therefore, phi we does not have to do anything. So, Q 3 on sync epsilon closure, it is going to itself only, as we have discussed in the input symbol. Therefore, Q naught on sync 1, it is going to Q 3. Okay. Some or the other we can relate also. If you omit this epsilon transitions also, you can check it out that Q naught is for 0, it is going to Q 3, Q naught on sync 1, it is going to Q 3 only. So, we are getting the same result. So, like this you need to fill for every states. A little bit of lengthier as of now for the first example, but if you keep on doing it, you will be easy for you for. Okay. So, this is the way you need to do it. Now, let me go with the next step. So, I got Q 3 in both the conditions. So, randomly I will take suppose Q 2, I am taking Q 2 right now. I am not doing all the things, you can do it on your own if you have understood the first row. Let us take Q 2 now. Okay. Q 2 on sync epsilon closure. First of all, always remember it will go to itself. So, Q 2 on sync epsilon, it will go to itself, and any more states, any more transition for Q 2, is it there? No. So, therefore, this particular transition will not be there, only one transition is there, that is your Q 2 only. Okay. Now, let us check Q 2 on sync input symbol 0. So, Q 2 on sync input symbol 0, is there anything? Phi. That means, Q 2 on sync 0, it is going null, it is going nowhere. So, therefore, it will be phi over here. Got it? Next comes Q 2 on sync 1. So, now I will be checking for epsilon closure, this will be coming as same. Now, I will be checking for 1. So, Q 2 on sync 1, Q 2 on sync 1, where it is going Q 3. So, therefore, final step I have to do epsilon closure, where it is going? It is going to itself. Why? Because Q 3 have no epsilon transition, rather it will be having only itself, correct. So, therefore, Q 2 on sync 1, it is going to Q 3. So, like this you need to find out the table. Okay. I hope this particular concept is clear to everyone. Now, let us check for a little bit, I will do a little bit fast, and I will check for all the transitions why to skip. Okay. So, let us discuss this. Now, let us check it out for Q 1, Q 1 on sync epsilon closure. So, Q 1 also the same scenario. So, Q 1 it will go to itself, then Q 1 on sync 0, it will go to Q 3, okay, Q 3 on sync epsilon closure, it will go to itself. Therefore, Q 1, next one I will check for 1 input, okay, it will go to itself. then 1, is there any transition from q to 1? No. So, therefore, this one will be phi. So, that means q 1 on sync 0, it is going to q 3, and q 1 on sync 1, it is going to phi. So, like this you need to find out for q 3 and q 4, and finally, you will be get a transition table for your NFA. So, this is how you need to find out, or you need to convert a NFA, epsilon NFA to an NFA. Okay. So, if you look into the equivalence of epsilon NFA and NFA, I can look into the point very precisely. First one, every NFA is an epsilon NFA. Okay. It just has no epsilon transition. This is an important point, because if we talk about NFA, does not have any epsilon transition. If we talk about epsilon NFA, yes, it is having an epsilon transition. But if you look into the both the equivalence part, every NFA is an epsilon NFA. Okay. So, that means in this video you have come across with two important points. One is what? Every DFA is an NFA, but every NFA is not a DFA. Second point, what you got? Every NFA is an epsilon NFA. Okay. Let us look into the second point. Converse requires us to take an epsilon NFA and construct an NFA that accepts the same language. This particular concept we have understood from the previous slide example. Okay. Next comes in the third point. This is done by combining epsilon transitions with the next transition on a real input. Okay. Suppose I need to consider one state, I am having two more states in the future. So, from first state to second state there is an epsilon transition, and from the second state to third state there is an input. So, directly we can say that from the first state to third state there is a that particular transition also, if you omit that particular empty transition. Okay. Now, come across with the last point, starts with epsilon NFA, the 5 tuples only, and construct an ordinary NFA which will have the 5 tuples only. Only the difference what it will happen is that epsilon concept will be omitted, which we have seen in the previous example. If you look into the concept overall, you will not get any epsilon transition over here. Okay. Phi means what? Phi means from q 2 there will be no transition for 0, q 2 I will be having only one transition, that is for input 1. So, that means epsilon transition will be omitted. So, finally, we can note some few points. DFAs, NFAs, epsilon NFAs all accept exactly the same set of languages which is said to be the regular languages. Now, we will come across with the main part which we will be discussing in unit number 2, that what is the hierarchy of languages, what is the hierarchy of grammar, what is the hierarchy of machines. Okay. And that hierarchy has been very beautifully depicted with the help of the name of Chomsky hierarchy. Okay. That we will be discussing in the unit 2 or unit 3. Okay. Next comes point number 2, that NFA types are easier to design. I already told you, because there is no restriction, that is why it is easier to design. But DFA, on the contrary, we have to first accept the language, and then what we have to do? We have to check whether the DFA restrictions are met up or not. Okay. So, that is why NFA types are easier to design and may have exponentially fewer states than a DFA, definitely, because DFA will require a date state also in order to accept. So, definitely number of states will increase in compared to NFA. Coming with the last point, but only a DFA can be implemented. Why? Because DFA is very much deterministic, that yes, for this particular input I am having this transition, but if you look into NFA, for this particular input I may have a transition, I may not have a transition, or I may have multiple transitions. So, that is why some or the other we stick on to a DFA to be implemented finally. That is why the hierarchy says that epsilon NFA to be converted to NFA, to be finally converted to DFA, and finally we also do some sort of minimization of this DFA. Minimization means reducing the number of states in order to get an optimized DFA, that we will check it in the upcoming video lectures. Okay. So, this is the general hierarchy of designing it. Okay. From epsilon NFA to NFA, you need the epsilon closure methodology. From NFA to DFA, you need what? That transition table of DFA. I hope you have understood in the previous video. If you have not gone through it, please go through it, otherwise you will not be able to convert from epsilon NFA to DFA. Okay. So, okay, next go with the next slide. Next slide also give you the same sort of example. Okay. So, I would request you to go with the same question. This is the same question that I have brought for you. Okay. Here what I have done, I have tried to design an NFA, and here you try to design the DFA for it. Okay. Now, if we look into the overall concept over here, if we look into this particular language having length exactly 1 over this one, having length exactly 1 over this one. So, just keep it aside, look into this diagram first. So, first of all, if we look into this diagram, we will not disclose this diagram to be an NFA, rather we will disclose this diagram as an epsilon NFA. Okay. Now, if we have to convert this diagram into an NFA, I have already told you, you have to take the help of epsilon closure. Okay. This particular language that I am giving to you, you just try to do it as a part of an assignment at home, okay, and you just try to do whether in the form of an epsilon NFA, but please hold for 1 or 2 lectures, because we will be discussing one particular topic which is known as Thompson's construction. There will be able to understand that how we can design some sort of epsilon NFAs from a particular expression. Then it will be easy for you to design this, and from that epsilon NFA you can design the particular NFA. For that, what you need? Epsilon closure. I have shown you the diagram, the concept, how to deal with epsilon closure. But if you are going to write in your examination point of view, how to write it? That is what I am showing to you. See, first of all, I want to show you for Q naught. Okay, if you look into the previous example, here I have shown it for Q naught, Q3 and Q3, right? This I already came to know. So, how do you write this? Delta is the transition function. Q naught on seeing epsilon, okay, it goes to where? You have to check the transitions, see where it goes. Q naught on seeing epsilon, Q naught on seeing epsilon, it will go to itself. Where it will go? It will go to Q1, it will go to Q2. So, I can directly write like this, Q1 comma Q naught comma Q1 comma Q2. So, this is the way of writing it. So, this is your first step of your epsilon closure. Then I have to do it what? Then Q naught on seeing, which is the input symbol that you are looking? 0. First you are checking for 0. Q naught on seeing 0, is there any transition? No, phi. Then I have to write down Q1 on seeing 0. What is the transition? Q1 Q3. Then delta Q3 on seeing 0, where it is going? It is going somewhere, oh sorry, Q2, this will be Q2. Q2 on seeing 0, is there any transition? No, phi. Therefore, this is the overall way of writing in your examination, that if I have to find out epsilon closure for the state Q naught, okay, and for the input symbol 0, then what will be the final answer? The final answer will be this one, Q3. Okay. Then again I have to write down for Q3, again I have to do the same process, therefore, delta Q3 on seeing epsilon, sorry, this will be your epsilon, and you will be getting Q3 only. So, this is the final step that you have to draw it, because in the first step you got what? Epsilon closure. Okay. In the second step you got what? For all the states you have seen. In the third step you have seen whatever state you have got, for that you have find out the epsilon closure. Okay. So, finally, Q naught on seeing 0, it is going to where? It is going to Q3. So, that is what I have shown you in the previous example, but this is the way you need to write it down in your examination. Okay. I hope I have tried to convey to you the concept of epsilon transition and how to convert an epsilon transition to a given NFA. And if you have understood in the previous video how to convert an NFA to a DFA, then you can convert that. Okay. So, practice those questions more frequently in order to grasp all the different designing processes. Okay. So, in the upcoming video lecture, we will look into few more important topics regarding finite automata with output. Okay. So, thank you for watching this video.